5:35 p.m. The CRA meeting in North Miami is called to order. I would want to ask Deputy Assistant Clerk, can you please do roll call so we may start?
Board Member Galvin?
Here.
Board Member Keys?
Here.
Board Member Desorme? Board Member Bien-Aimé? Chairman Joseph?
Here.
Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. We'll proceed with Pledge of Allegiance. I guess we'll just do it together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Let's proceed with our agenda as it is. We don't have any addition, deletions, or anything, do we?
Through the chairman, yes, item number 4 will be pulled and moved to the next agenda.
Huh?
Item number 4.
Item number 4 is omitted.
And will be moved to the next agenda.
Need a
No.
motion to continue that, or you just?
All right. Next item is to approve the last minutes from February 14th.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion made by Board Member Galvin to move the approval of minutes, and that motion was seconded by Chairman Joseph. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we can proceed with the agenda item 1.
No, I'm sorry, sir. It's
We have a
two
report.
sets of minutes, the February 14th and the February.
That's what we did, 14 and 20. They're together.
Okay, all right.
Huh?
Thank you, I apologize.
So for the record, we just approved the minutes for February 14
14
and
and
February 28.
28. Okay.
Item 1.
Good afternoon. Swifty Coin Laundry, located at 13500 West Dixie Highway, is applying for a beautification grant. They've been in business since 1991. They have 3 employees. They're requesting a grant to improve the safety of the property with newly installed security system, lights, pole fixtures, and also to paint the trim of the building and to restripe the parking lot. They've submitted the 3 bids as required by our guidelines. There are no violations on the property. The total project cost goes up to $15,000. Staff recommends approval. Mr. Deeb is here if you have any questions. He's actually not only did he go to North Miami Senior High, but he's also a former police officer from the city of North Miami.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion made by Chairman Joseph to approve item number 1. That motion was seconded by Board Member Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes 4-0.
Next item is Cliffs on the Highway, located at 12990 and 12996 West Dixie Highway. It's the big brown building that says a doctor's building on it. They've been in the city
Good luck.
since 1952. It's an orthopedic surgical practice. Dr. Clifford, who is here, and Mrs. Clifford, recently retired. He intends to lease it to other doctors. His grant request was originally to replace the windows, to replace it with impact windows and doors for energy efficiency, but we also encouraged them to paint it as well because the color hadn't changed for a while. The total cost of the project would be about $30,000. We are requesting the board to consider waiving the $15,000 requirement to $20,000 to allow for him to do the windows and the paint. And Dr. Clifford is aware that he would be responsible for the difference, which is $10,000. There are no violations on the property. Staff recommends approval of $20,000 as the grant will improve the aesthetics along the West Dixie corridor, and he will be bringing new doctors and a new business into our community.
So you just stood in their face and told them, I don't like the color?
No, our mission in the CRA
I'm only
is
kidding.
to help enhance the visibility of the community. So I did We did discuss the color scheme, and we do
You're
try
right.
to make sure that whatever grant we provide has a visible impact for people to see and appreciate.
Do you or do you not like the color?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move approval.
All right.
Second.
I have a motion on the floor made by Board Member Galvin to approve item number 2. That motion was seconded by Board Member Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes 4-0.
Okay. Good luck, Dr. Clifford.
Congratulations on your retirement.
Next item is We Hair Spa. It's located at 13715 Northwest 7th Avenue, Unit 13751. Ms. Pierre
you.
is here. She has been a beauty expert for the past 15 years, and now she's branched out on her own, and she's creating her own salon spa that will offer various services. It is in the strip that's on Northwest 7th Avenue, where the mini police station is at. And also the city had provided a grant, a facade grant through the Northwest 7th Avenue Commercial Rehab Grant in October of 2013 for $140,000. So as per our CRA guidelines, normally you're not supposed to get a city and a CRA grant, and she did not really, but the property did. So you will need to waive that requirement to allow her to be eligible to receive this grant for interior renovation. The renovations that she's asking for is, again, to redo the interior so that she can open for her beauty salon. It includes paint, ceiling repairs, lighting fixtures, flooring, security, and alarm installation. And none of these renovations will affect the exterior renovations that you had already paid for through the city funds.
All right, Mr. Attorney, it's okay. We didn't have a resolution to waive that requirement, so we can just,
Typically, if you're going to waive the guideline requirements, you just do that as part of the motion.
okay.
It's fine.
Everything to say, it's your district.
So staff is recommending
Well,
approval.
I do have a question because I think I shared it with, so what happens if, so this grant amount is for 3 years, right?
The
And how much
grant
is
is $15,000 through, for guidelines, you need to have a lease and be in a business successfully for 3 years.
Okay. You must be in business, or the lease must be,
Both, pretty much.
Oh,
Both.
okay.
I mean,
all right,
you could have a lease but not be open, and
Not
it
be
defeats the
open.
purpose.
I got it, okay, thank you.
All right, I guess I'll make the motion to waive the requirements and approve this grant.
Second.
I have a motion made by Board Chairman Joseph to approve the item with amendment to waive the guideline requirement of 3 years. That motion was seconded by Board Member Galvin. All in favor?
All right,
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes 4-0.
Next item for MMG Colonial Holdings, located at 12310, 12334 West Dixie Highway, is requesting a rehab grant. They are the strip mall where the Presidente supermarket is. This is for the bays that are vacant right now. They have some new tenants moving in. Their grant request is to replace the impact windows and doors, partial demolition of some walls, and removing the existing pavers, painting, and installing new beams. They're somewhat making that a more modern look for their new tenants. The total cost of the project is $103,280. As part of the rehab grant, it's up to $80,000, so half of that, 50% of that would be $51,640. Staff recommends approval. There are no violations on this property, and we actually have been working with the property owner and the property manager to help them get some new tenants as part of our revitalization of the corridor. Mr. Pico, the owner, and Mr. Benez, the property manager, are here if you have any questions.
I have a question. do you have any plans? It says you're looking to put in a restaurant, and I had visions for your shopping center. Do you have any plans to put any outdoor dining there? Like if you had a cafe, and you have a lovely
Good
green
evening, Martin
space there.
Pico and Ellen Bennis. Until we haven't been successful with the lack of traffic on West Dixie in attracting the ability to fill all of those vacant spaces. So we're trying to do this revitalization and rehab to make it more attractive in a way where we can develop some of those new tenants.
What
Along these properties themselves abut up to the sidewalk, so it all depends on what the city will allow us in terms of outdoor seating. But again, we've got to rehab the building and get the tenants to really be attracted to the building, and then we can come in with some of those ideas.
So one of the benefits of not having that traffic and having the green space that used to be, I guess, Dixie Highway, is you don't have high volume, which makes it really ideal for people to be able to go outside, eat in a nice atmosphere, and not be with the cars
The
whizzing
constant
by
traffic.
and jumping on the curb and running into your store.
No,
So,
we agree. It's all a matter of putting the spaces in a condition where really they're leasable.
because I've talked about your particular space to our CRA many times, and that would be a really nice vision to have some outdoor dining there.
I think it's all a matter of doing what we can to
Okay.
beautify that corridor, and then keep attracting new and better tenants each time.
Thank you.
What, we need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion made on the floor by Board Member Galvin, and that motion was seconded by Board Member Keys. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes 4-0.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, and item number 6, I guess it's I don't know if it's the manager or the director or coordinator. Who's going to be doing the presentation on Florida legislation / CRA update resolution. Or before that, you have something else?
No, I was gonna present that item to you. Just simply, that item number 6 is the resolution that you passed as a city council regarding the legislative item that's going through the Florida legislature.
Okay.
Attempting to sunset CRAs. I was there last week, at the end of the week, and where it appears that this probably won't get legs at the end of by the end of the session, but we'll continue to monitor it. I've met with all of our delegation, and they're obviously supportive of keeping our CRA alive. So with that, I just ask that you support the item again.
As a CRA.
As a CRA.
Huh? So you need a motion, you need us to vote on this?
Yes.
Okay, I move.
Second.
I have a motion made by Chairman Joseph to approve the item number 6. That motion was seconded by Board Member Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes 4-0.
Sorry, through the chair, the next item is an update, quarterly budget update. This is something that we want to make sure we continue to just put on the record as we go, being consistent with our new guidelines for good governance as a CRA. So with that, I'll pass it over to our budget director, Terry Henley.
Good evening, CRA Board. Terry Henley. And what you have before you, the last 2 pages of your agenda, you'll see a memo. I'm going to talk about the expenditures first and then the revenues. So for your budget of $6.7 million, it's split into 4 categories: administration, operating, grants, and capital. For the administration budget of $342,000, you've used about 18% to date. For the operating of $1.9 million, you've used 17% to date. For grants of $1.1 million, you've used 2% to date. And for capital projects of $3.3 million almost, you've used 9% to date. Overall, 11% of your $6.7 million budget. And this is for the first quarter, which started October 1st and ended December 31st. So just the first 3 months of the year. Now, for your revenues, you have 2 main sources of revenue for the CRA. You have the tax increment financing, that fund as well as your miscellaneous. For your TIF, there's two payments. It comes from the city as well as from the county. We budgeted $2.4 million for TIF revenue, but we've received almost $3.6 million, which is about 145%. We've received more than what we planned because the funding formula for the interlocal agreement changed, was adjusted after we approved the budget. So that's why you'll see more revenue than expected. The second category is your miscellaneous revenue. The miscellaneous revenue, that's a little more than $4.2 million, and this primarily consists of the carryover projects that you've approved in prior years that are allocated for projects. So this money's just moved over into the new year. Overall, your revenues also $6.7 million, and you've received almost 3.6 to date. So that concludes where you stand for the first quarter.
Question?
Go ahead.
Since we have almost more than $1 million, don't we need to allocate that for projects, or else we have to forfeit it at the end of the year?
There's now all the miscellaneous revenue.
The TIF.
Oh, the TIF. Well, when you adopt the budget, all the expenditures are already allocated.
3,593,000 or 2,469,000?
Of your $6.7 million, everything's allocated. For capital projects, 3.3.
Okay.
There isn't $1 million unallocated, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, so everything's allocated.
Right,
Okay.
correct.
And that is, and just so we're clear, when we talk about allocated in the context of CRA TIF, we've identified projects and you've allocated it to those projects. The spending continues. So some of the projects are multi-year projects, and we need to be careful, as I think the attorney will advise, that if you have unallocated money, it puts it into a category that we may have to refund it back to the taxing authority.
To
So
the county.
yes, correct. So that's why we say we're careful
That's
about
what I'm
saying,
saying.
yeah. So it is allocated to a project.
To a project.
Yes.
So despite that, we are over 45% where we should be, that money is allocated somewhere.
Correct.
Okay.
So the money being allocated, but does the project have to be executed or at least started by the end of the fiscal year?
Want me to explain from the statute?
Right.
Mhm.
Okay, so at the end of your fiscal year,
Mhm.
if you have money that you've budgeted, appropriated, and allocated to a specific project, you can carry that money forward for another 3 years from that date.
Mhm.
So if you have a project that hasn't started, you can still move the money forward for 3 years.
Okay.
Now, if you have multi-year projects that you think might take even more, sometimes you may want to allocate different tranches in different years so that that money can keep rolling forward.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, one quick question. So the project, the deputy manager told me that I think they said the CRA was funded by the CRA, I think at least 2 projects from either the Pepper Park lot or the, you said it wasn't CRA or Olita? The park right in the middle, not Olita.
Oleander.
Oleander. Is that CRA? You say no. Okay, so it's city.
Yeah, parks would be city.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so that would be. That's what I'm
We
trying to
do have
figure
some
out.
We have
CRAs.
had some CRA-funded projects,
No, okay.
but I don't believe Oleander.
That one is one.
Sassopool was one.
Yeah, I
Circus
remember.
Grove was one.
Okay.
It got swapped
Okay.
out.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to figure out who's responsible for what was promised almost 2 years ago. So
Work-wise,
yeah,
it would
Yeah.
be Parks and our project manager.
Okay.
So I'll get
Jeff?
you an update.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get
Thank
you an
you.
update from Jeff.
That's it?
thank you.
Any report from the attorney?
We will continue to monitor the legislation. It's up in Tallahassee with respect to the CRAs, and as the executive director indicated, we hope that by the end of the session, it'll all fail,
Okay.
as it usually
That's all.
does.
Good.
Anything from any member?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I do have 2 items under the Executive Director's report I need to mention. One is our next CRA board meeting is Tuesday, May 23rd at 5:30 because of the election. And 2, our annual report per state statute is due March 31st.
March 31st.
I've given you hard copies, it is on our website. We met our deadline, we are about to have it printed so we can have a good marketing tool for all our activities. Yes. So it is on our website, it is in the city clerk's office, and it was advertised in the paper as required by state statute. So I do need to mention that.
All right. Do we have any new business?
Mr. Chairman, if I might, a little bit of picayune, but, you know, bear with me. Navigating the CRA agenda this week, especially 200 and something pages, was very difficult because we provided it online. The city has the ability to click on the different tabs so that you can, you know, jump to that item. So when we're reviewing city council agenda, it's much easier to navigate. If there's any way to do that for the CRA, we don't normally have this long of an agenda, but I was
Yeah, no.
scrolling up and down and all around and whatever, and so if there's a way to just jump from item to item, I would. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, that's all I have.
That's it? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, thank you very much. We will recess for 1 hour, at which time we will come back for our regular